Hello, I would like to present to you the two latest projects on which I was working. The first one is a PokerOddsCalculator written in C++, and the second one is a CRUD application written in C# and using PostgreSQL as the database. Both of them are designed to work with the most popular poker format, No Limit Hold'em. Let's start with the PokerOddsCalculator. The goal of this application is to calculate the winning percentage of each hand when two or more players are going all-in before the river. In this case, we need to loop through all possible flop-turn river shared cards based on the street when the all-in did occur. This way, we can calculate the strength of each hand, compare them, and determine the winner. The biggest challenge and my main goal here were to achieve sufficient performance, as a pre-flop all-in clash requires a loop of 1.7 million hands. The main bottleneck is the calculation of the hand strength, as it needs around 3.4 million calls for just two hands. Additionally, to calculate the strength of a no-limit hold'em hand, we need to check for repeating card faces forming pairs, sets, full houses, and quads, card suits that could make a flush, and the sequences of card faces forming straights. To improve performance, I decided to create a hand class containing few bit masks, a 52-bit mask for the entire looping, where each bit represents a single card face and a card suit, a few 13-bit masks, where each bit represents just the card face of a single suit used for calculating flushes and straight flushes, or all the card faces regardless of the suit used for calculating of straights. Additionally, there is a 13-bit 5-base mask used to count the times any card face appears in the hand. It's used to calculate pairs, sets, etc. Accordingly, I pre-calculated lookup tables for any strength type, and to determine a hand strength we only need to calculate the bit mask indexes and search in the relevant tables. With this approach, I managed to calculate the preflop equities of two hands in just 0.23 seconds. For future improvements, some potential ideas are implementing parallelism, improving the indexes calculation, which is the current bottleneck, or trying to skip turn or river calculations in cases when nothing is changing, like when one hand already has very high strength and the other couldn't improve enough. The SnGAnalysator is a create, read, update, and delete application with WinForm interface, written in C# and using PostgreSQL. We read a text file containing hand histories via multi-line regex and convert them into a list of hands. A set of extension methods is responsible for calculating the data that is not possible to be read directly, like players' positions, aggressors, and actors' strings. These properties are used in the read queries. To calculate the expected value chips, we use pre-calculated equity array for the two players' preflop hands and the .dll of the PokerOddsCalculator's applications for all other cases. Next, we check for duplicates and import the updated list of hands to the preferred database. By default, we import to both the JSON and the relational ones. Finally, after the import is done, we run a script to update the dashboard table, which is containing a list of dashboard model required to load the dashboard page. We run this script just once after import and save the result as JSON to the database, as it's containing many queries and requires time to be read. The heatmap page allows the user to run semi-defined queries and to extract whole class heatmaps for all players based on the filters. A click on a specific whole cards is querying all the related hands from the database. All queries could be run only for hands played versus a predefined areas of villains defined in a reg list. The settings are saved in a text file in the apps directory and are updated after every change. We can choose the preferred database for both reading and writing, enter our database credentials, change the reg list file, and more. The import list allows us to choose the file for importing and to follow the app's progress for import. The front-ends and the back-ends projects are built separately, and the data needed to run each page is requested via own model class, so transition to a totally different user interface could be done without touching any part of the current back-ends project. The relational database is much slower for writing but faster for reading as the JSON-DB. As this project requires fast reading but could compromise the import time, I would prefer to stick with the relational DB and work further on improving it. We should definitely add more queries to analyze the players fully and could support more poker formats and game providers. The front end and deployment need to be improved as well if we want to produce this application. And now a little bit about myself. I'm in a need of a junior position as backend developer. If you like the skills I've presented in this video, please contact me and we could discuss these applications further.